Welcome back to SHP Case Studies. Today we have an IT client who reaches out to physicians' offices across the United States. I like this one, and the interesting story behind this is that there was consistent results throughout this study. And that sometimes is hard to come across, as you might know, in the IT MSP space. So this company does provide IT services, cybersecurity, uh, remote and on-site support for physicians' offices specifically. And so they had an issue. The issue was that they were a small company, are a small company, and they needed a team to do outreach for them. They didn't have the capacity, they didn't have the time to make these calls, which is why they reached out to us and engaged with us and are still working with SHP. The long and short of it, when it comes to strategy, our goal was to reach out to office managers and owners of these physicians' offices, call them to ask some discovery questions, introduce who we are, provide the value, and see if a next step would make sense to help their physician office with their IT needs. We switched up between dentists, veterinarians, eye centers, law offices, medical offices. So there is a little bit of variety in the results based upon that subcategory, but overall, we were reaching out to some office with doctors. The script and strategy that we used was a consultative conversation format. So if you're not familiar with our H2H formats, we have more of a consultative one to have conversation, a no bull script format, which is to get to the point quickly and ask for the appointment based on that market, and then a survey script to create some allure and some exclusivity in the strategy. So this one, we use the consultative format. I really loved the quick prop in this because it was so to the point and got the person who was on the other end in the right frame of mind to think in. And then we ask a quick discovery question to get them talking. Once we receive that information, we can then tailor our value prop, our calling prop, to what they responded with, and then ask some additional questions to get them back in a conversation and close with an appointment setting phone call, requesting a date and time to reach out to discuss to see if this makes sense, to overview what they currently have and see if this client can fit in anywhere. When we look at the results, I see consistency. We had a 1% appointment setting rate overall, and we had an 11% appointment setting rate on the number of decision maker conversations we had. So about 1 every 10 or 9 turned into an appointment. And for this industry, that's not too bad. That's what I like. I'm not saying these are fantastic, amazing results. I'm not saying that they're awful results either, because we're able to generate a 1% on average for this company. What's also interesting is the fact that there was a 2.5% lead setting rate. So we don't just set appointments. That's not the only value. Sometimes clients aren't ready for that appointment. Sometimes they just want to take this easy, and we have to respect that buying cycle. Otherwise, we might be too aggressive and lose that relationship altogether. Part of our H2H method is that cold conversations are always about building trust in product, process, and the person that's calling, right? So we want to make sure that we have backup options. And that's the value of the 2.65% lead setting rate. If you go down to the graph and you see there was a bit of up and down, but overall a high, a 1% appointment setting rate. But some of these months, and it's interesting to see, some of the months with low appointment setting rates, we had high nurture leads, or folks that were open to information, just not ready for any type of call. And the months that we had high appointment setting rate, we had low nurture and warm leads. So you can see that just there's a consistency in not only the appointments, but the lead setting that kind of balances out the effort to then be able to nurture and build these relationships based upon the level that the prospect is ready, so that we're not hurting that opportunity when they might be in that state of need in the future. So thinking about that when you get into especially IT, and how a lot of times this isn't an urgent decision. They're not necessarily waiting next to their computer or their phone for someone to call them. We have to build the value, build the relationship, help them see and believe that this can help them when the time is right. And that's why cold calling now is sometimes the best option we can do on a consistent basis. Are you a company that wants to grow their sales pipeline but don't know how to do it outside of cold email, inbound, and normal channels? Consider SHP. We provide cold call appointment setting and sales development services to generate leads and appointments outbound for your sales pipeline so you can have control over your sales destiny. Give us a call at the number provided or reach out to us in any way. We're happy to chat with you about how we can cold call and generate leads so that you don't have to. Be excited to do the work for you and can't wait to hear from you.